Hey guys, welcome back to the Let Me Tell You Why podcast. Jeremy Jacobowitz. I am your host, Jeremy Jacobowitz, and welcome back to the show. We have a really fun one in store for you today. It is all about my love of diners, a love letter to diners, because diners are so back. After like many years of seeing so many diners close, there's been like a resurgence of maybe not the traditional diners, but like fun takes on diners. But we'll get to more of that in a minute. But also in this episode, previews for a new Korean spot, a new Middle Eastern spot, a new omobushi menu, and more. Plus, of course, what I'm into this week. And only for you, merch is still on sale. This exclusive newsletter code NOV12, that's NOV12, for 12% off everything on jeremyjshop.com. That's on top of a site-wide Black Friday holiday sale. Literally everything's on sale for you guys because I just want to see you in my merch. We have so many cool things. I'm wearing the Exiled Sando shirt today. We got new dad hats. We got new ski caps. We got new sweaters. We got new mugs. Perfect holiday gifts. I think so. I think they're perfect holiday gifts. And it will say, I spoke to my supplier. They did say try and get the orders in by the first week in December just to make sure that everything comes for the holiday season. And speaking of the holiday season, I also found some deals on some of my favorite products I actually use, so we'll get to that in the episode as well. One correction from last week. I said I booked things in Japan using a site called Tabelog. I was wrong. I forget who pointed this out to me. It's Tabelog, Tabelog. I typed in, because I said like, oh, type in restaurant and how you'd reserve it to find it. Every time I typed in restaurant, Tabelog, Google just automatically fixed it for me. So I literally never realized that I was saying it wrong and Googling it wrong every single time. But if you're going to Japan, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Tabelog, Tabelog. Okay. All right. So let's get to the main subject today. My love of diners. I grew up loving diners. Like so many core memories are made at classic. In my mind, they're Jewish diners, but they're Greek diners, I guess. They're all run by Greek people. But whether that was just my hometown in Westchester or seeing my relatives on Long Island, like going to diners like was what we did. It just was, and the food was amazing. A giant menu of literally everything in the whole world. No matter what time you went there, you could get incredible food, and you could get like big cookies too at the end. It really is just like the best way to eat. But sadly over the years we've seen so many diners disappear. RIP El Dorado if you're from Westchester. Certainly a lot of them in New York City closing too. Somehow they're still thriving on Long Island. Every time I go back to Long Island and go to a diner, they are still thriving. So Long Island gets it. Malls too. Malls in Long Island are still thriving. Every time I go there, I'm like, malls are deserted around the country. Long Island malls still thriving. But I went way off course here. But over the past few years, there have been like a resurgence in taking like the essence of a diner and putting a fun spin on it. And these are basically some of my favorite restaurants in New York City. You have Golden Diner, which is a diner with like an Asian twist. Oh my God, the pancakes there are so unbelievably good. The tuna melt is so unbelievably good. I've gone for breakfast a million times. I've never even gone for dinner. I have to get back there for dinner. It's so good. Thai Diner is a diner with a Thai twist. They even do like Thai disco fries. It is delicious. Thai Diner like has some spicy stuff too, and it's a total vibe. Three Decker Diner, which has been open forever in Greenpoint, has like a new menu with like a Tex-Mex flair. I love that too. And someone told me I got to try their tuna melt. But I was psyched to see that Kellogg's Diner, a staple of the Williamsburg food scene, was recently reopened, also with the Tex-Mex and a little bit of a Southern inspiration too. And they opened for dinner a few months ago maybe, and their goal was to be open 24/7. So I was like, you know what, I want to wait. I want to wait to go eat breakfast at this diner, because to me, even though you could go to a diner no matter what time of day, I wanted breakfast first, because to me, when I think diner food, I really think breakfast, even though I kind of think Greek salad and chicken tender is awesome, but breakfast is really what I think. So I finally went in there last week, and oh man, it was good. The Texas French toast was like so crispy and giant and so good. The corn masa pancakes, oh, whoa. the braised short rib. Like, I really thought it was fantastic. So what I did was I got in touch with them and I said, hey, I'm doing this podcast. I want to talk about my love of diners, and who better to talk to you about a love of diner than someone that just reopens a classic diner and kept its essence as a diner, but put a fun twist on it. So today I am chatting with head chef Jackie Carnesi, incredible pedigree, Nura, and Roberta's about her thought process on reopening this diner, putting her own spin on it, and well, her love of diners. Tell us a little bit about your restaurant.
Okay, so it's called Kellogg's Diner. It is in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. It has been around for nearly 100 years, but different iterations, serving different styles of food under different owners, but always under the Kellogg's name.
Why was it important to, one, keep the name and sort of keep it as a diner?
So it was important to keep the name because, people have so much attachment to this restaurant. Like everybody that I've ever spoken with has a Kellogg's memory, whether it's good or bad, but it's always like, oh, Kellogg's Diner, somebody, I got broken up with there, or I threw up in the bathroom, or, whatever. That was like my favorite after work spot. And it was just really important that we stuck with it because, it's so historically important in my eyes. And it represents so much of like New York City, the average New Yorker. You can find so many like walks of life here. And I think if Kellogg's had ceased to exist, it would have been a really big loss for the community.
How would you describe the menu? Like, it's certainly been described as Tex-Mex and Southern, but it's, definitely has diner food.
Yeah. So it definitely does have a lot of Tex-Mex and Southern influence in there. I think that there's definitely more to it than that, and that was intentional, right? So we initially were going down the Tex-Mex and Southern pathway pretty exclusively, and then just kind of realized that we wanted to like open up the umbrella a little bit and like appeal to a bigger swath of diners, the people, not the buildings, and just decided to put some more like diner staples on there.
Was that hard conceptualizing a menu that sort of straddles that line really nicely? And just like, there's just like staples that diners have to have. I feel like you also need to have a giant menu, which you do. How is that process?
Yeah, so it was, this was definitely like the most daunting menu I've ever created. Partially because like prior to this project, my goal as a chef was always to like be as creative as possible and like try to invent like new exciting things that people hadn't really seen, or like combine flavors that were new and exciting. Whereas this project was like the antithesis of that. It was taking dishes that people know extremely well and trying to make the best version of that. But for me, like diner food was not really, I didn't really grow up eating in diners. I grew up eating in like small Mexican, like mom and pop restaurants. So that was like kind of my association of like what this space was supposed to be. And when I first jumped on this project, the place that I started was by essentially like polling the people that were in the restaurant, the servers and, back of house and guests, and being like, okay, what would you love to see stay on this menu? And much to my dismay, most people said the penne alla vodka. And I was like, all right, I'm not talking to you fools anymore.
Was that, I would never order that from a diner. I certainly never had that from Kellogg's. Is that just like a Kellogg's thing people got, or they just loved it for some reason?
I didn't ask too many questions about it because I was just like, I was really hoping for a different answer. And I guess I got the truth and I didn't like it.
You guys have now been open 24/7 for a week or two?
Just started this past Sunday.
Okay, this past Sunday. Okay, so yeah. I was going to ask, I could ask you, like, what are you, since it hasn't happened yet, what are you anticipating? Because like I've already told friends that when I went the other day, it's like, oh, they're open now, officially 24/7. Like my friends were like, oh, I cannot wait to get to be there at 3 a.m. Like, is
Yeah,
that gonna be the expectation? Is like it's gonna be rowdy, or is it like, oh, we're
we
diner
have
will be open. And
bouncers. We have bouncers.
oh, so you're ready. You're prepared.
I, you, I don't know if I would say that we're prepared. I mean, the last night when I left, because I don't stay overnight, but last night when I left, our walk-in was completely empty. We were like running out of things left and right. And, I tried to like mitigate that to the best of my ability. But there's only so much you can do at like at night on a, late at night on a Sunday to like, where am I going to get 40 pounds of green beans? It's like, we just have to pivot. But yeah, I mean, we definitely got hit hard over the weekend, which I don't know if we were anticipating that so much, but it's good. Now we know what the max is kind of going to be. I think we did like, 1,100 covers in one day, something like that.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
That's really hard. It's really hard to say. I mean, I eat a lot of salads now because, I mean, I've been eating this food for a number of months, and I'm trying to do some damage control. But what is my actual favorite thing on the menu? Oh, I think maybe our Chrome burger is my favorite. It's so good. It's a 9-ounce dry-aged butter basted burger patty, Dijonnaise, pickles, caramelized onion, and bib lettuce on a sesame bun. And it was just kind of like, all right, we want to have like our own, like our iconic burger. And that's what I ended up with.
Yeah, I was.
I don't know if I don't know if I would call it. I can't call my own burger iconic, but it is really good.
I know. I was like waiting. I wanted my first experience to be breakfast, so I was waiting, and now I could like finally allow myself to go get dinner because I want all that shit too. Who made the playlist? Because when I was sitting there, like I'm someone that never like notices music being played, and I was sitting there and like every song came up, I was like, oh, this just like feels right.
I've discussed that before. I don't know who's making the playlist, but they all hit. They all hit, and they all feel like, sometimes it'll be like Billy Joel and sometimes it's like Rihanna, and like no matter what it is, I'm like, okay, yeah, this feels like this should be playing in the dining room right now.
The vibe was right with all of them.
That's good.
And then last question is, what's the most iconic New York City restaurant in your eyes?
Oh my God. That's a really hard one. Iconic. I mean, my gut immediately said S&P, but their story arc kind of mirrors ours, right?
Yeah.
With like having so many owners and kind of coming out the other side, but they're sticking to their like more traditional guns a little bit, and I really respect that about them.
Yeah, I put out my video today. I put out my video today, like best tuna melts in New York City, and that one was definitely on it.
Yeah. I fucking hate tuna, but I trust you.
No.
It's like that is like my Achilles heel. They've asked me to put a tuna melt on the menu a couple of times, and I was just like, literally someone else has to make it. I can't do it.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Again, I have to get back for dinner. Like, I'm so excited now to get dinner. And I didn't even get desserts because I felt like, okay, like the breakfast was sweet enough. I don't need the dessert. But some of the desserts look so good. So I'm excited to get there for dinner. I'm excited to eat there at 3 a.m. I'm excited to eat there for lunch. I love diners, and I love that this is happening. And I wish we see more of it. I wish we had some more classic diners too. Let's get some more classic diners in the mix. But you know what I think, like what's so special about restaurants always is when we get to see the chef's perspective on food. And that's certainly what we're seeing here. It's like these classic staples, but with her knowledge and inspiration and creativity. And that's what makes restaurants fun. They shouldn't all be the same stuff. All right, let's get into what's trending and what you may have missed in the past 2 weeks of some of my videos. Best breakfast burrito in New York City. I went back to Ceremonia in Williamsburg to eat their chorizo breakfast burrito, and this thing is loaded up and massive and huge, and even better than I remembered. You could watch that everywhere. Ultimate sushi and sake dinner. I also went back to Sushi Nakazawa. I originally went to the one in DC over the summer. Loved it. This time I went to New York City. I went with my friend, Kampe Carl, who is a sake expert. And when you go there with a sake expert and he knows how to order and he tells them, hey, I want to pair every single course with only the best sake and wine you guys have, let me tell you, you were going to have one of the best experiences ever. We even ended up afterwards drinking more, tasting more, having exclusive stuff. Like there's stuff I was told, don't even put this in the video because no one's supposed to know we even have this. It was insane. So check that out everywhere. The brunch spot in New York City. A lot of return. I should have like everything this week. I kind of returned to back at Sunday in Brooklyn because honestly, like it is just the definition of brunch in New York City. From the menu to the vibes to the space, sitting outside in Williamsburg, it's fantastic and just as good as I remembered. But check that video out too. And then also 6 places I've ordered in at least 1,000 times. Some of these places are places I barely even talk about. I've never even made a feed video about before, but I've ordered them in a lot, so it's food that I eat a lot of. So check that out everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snap, Facebook. I don't know, wherever you guys watch my content, you get to do that. Okay, let's talk about what's hot, what's trending, what's happening in the New York City food scene. Oncheon has recently opened and is a Korean restaurant which wants to transport you to traditional Korean hot springs. It's an immersive dining experience that aims to nourish both your body and spirits. The menu includes a number of different broths paired with different meats and veggies. Think like A5 Wagyu, porcini mushrooms, and more. You guys know me. I love Korean food, and this sounds delicious. And I think I need my body and spirit nourished. Laziza is a new Middle Eastern-inspired bar and restaurant that just opened in Bed-Stuy. It takes inspiration from Lebanon, Turkey, and more, all with a 70s vintage feel inside. Some of the standouts include a maple smoked labneh made with za'atar chili crisp. Oh my god. Sucuk, which is Armenian beef sausage, and pashmak, which is a Persian cotton candy with dehydrated fruit. This is the way I like to eat, so I would need to check that out. Holiday Cocktail Lounge is, of course, a classic. And starting at 8 a.m. every day now, they will have not only coffee, espresso, teas, and more, but a menu of freshly made pastries, croissants, mini bagels, and sandwiches. So super cool. You get to go check out this incredible old school space during the day now. And not have to drink. You just get some coffee. And Dashi Okume is launching a new omusubi menu, weekdays only. You can choose between 2. They have okaka, which has shaved bonita flakes, and a grilled salmon. And if you want, you can make it a set, and that comes with miso soup, one side of the day, and a pickled cucumber salad. Again, all these places are exactly the way I like to eat, so I'm gonna have to get there too. Okay, let's talk about what I'm into. First up, gaming. So I rarely find games that I want to play, or really it's finding time to find games that I want to play. But since I have not watched the news since election night, I have so much free time. So this game did come out in 2017, but South Park: The Fractured Butthole, it's not spelled the way you probably think it is, has come out on Xbox Game Pass. And that means because I pay for Xbox Game Pass, it is free. So I finally checked it out. It definitely helps if you're a fan of the series to maybe understand a lot of the humor and lore behind it. But really rarely does a game actually make me laugh, and this game made me laugh. As well as having great gameplay. So it made me laugh, and I loved playing it, which is a hard combo, more harder than you think it would be. It might have been a little easy, but it was my first time truly getting into a turn-based RPG game, so I think having a easier time with it really made me want to keep playing, and I actually finished the game, and that is very rare. I so rarely finish games, but I loved it. It was a blast. I maybe put 20 hours into it, which isn't crazy for a game. And of course it's free with Game Pass. So how could I complain? I loved it so much. I gave them $3. I downloaded the DLC afterwards because I wanted to get more out of the game. So really, really highly recommend that. And also very randomly, I finally watched the movie that was also from 2017. I finally watched Blade Runner 2049. it blew my mind. It is just like stunning and thought-provoking, and like it hurt my brain at times trying to understand it. Part of that is because I was told I didn't need to watch the original Blade Runner to get this movie. I guess I guess I enjoyed it without having seen the original one, but certainly now going back and researching and digging into this movie, it really would have helped if I had watched the original Blade Runner. There are just a lot of things that I missed because it was like calling back to that movie. So, but like most movies I really, really love, I then watched like a million YouTube videos about it and like really just trying to get into it and understand every second of it. Okay, let's get to these Black Friday deals that I found for you guys that are all things that I use every single day. I'm going to talk them through here, but then if you actually want the links, I will put them in the show notes description wherever you are watching and listening to this. So first of all, Apple AirTags are 26% off. I put AirTags on everything. I put them on the outside of bags. I put them on the inside of bags. I attach it to my cameras. I trust them more than anything. I have so much gear and I love them, and 26% off. Like, I think that's the pack of 4. I must have like 16 of them now on everything. Love them. Get them. Great gifts for people too. The Sony MH1000X M4 over-the-ear headphones are 43% off, which is crazy. These headphones are incredible. They are what I use every single day. They are the older model. There's an M5 that has come out since then, but the difference isn't that much, and I actually like the way these fit and feel better. So check those out. Peak Design Travel Tripod Aluminum is 20% off. This is the tripod I use every single day. It is, for its size, it is incredible. It's like, I brought this thing all over the world. I've dropped it all over the world. It's such a great tripod, like a little still pricier, but like you're getting that in the quality of it and its strength and its durability. And with a tripod, that's sort of important. Sometimes you could go cheap, but when it's your travel tripod, you have to spend a little bit more, and that's on sale. Canon RF 15-35mm lens. What I'm filming on right now is 13% off. This is my everyday lens. I find that like usually have to go super wide at 15 for a lot of stuff. Be able to get to 35. It's also like a really nice millimeter focal length also. So that's my everyday lens. So if you want to know what to film with, that's it. And it's 13% off. Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses are 20% off. I love these things. Not only, I don't use the cameras so much, but it is a really cool perspective when I do use the cameras. But what I really love is the headphones are great actually. So like if it is too hot outside for me to wear my over-ear headphones or my AirPods, AirPod Pros, or just like don't want more things on me, just to have those glasses on me and have headphones that are like fine enough, honestly, and still be incredible sunglasses. I think they're really, really fun. And they're smart glasses too. You could like have it has like AI built in. I really, really like them. And those are 20% off. And then I just bought this. The Brita Everyday Water Filter Pitcher with Smart Light is 20% off. And I think you guys know what a Brita filter is. It filters your water. But I really like about this one is it has a little light on it, and it measures how many times you open and you refill it. So it will light up red when it's time to change a filter, which is great because I always forget to do that. So I appreciate the little things. That's 20% off too. So there you go. Lots of gifts you could buy other people or buy yourself, and get whatever you want. Thank you guys again for watching, listening. Please leave a review, 5 stars, subscribe, do whatever you're watching and listening to, just do those things because it's really, really helpful and it's been great. This is like growing every single week, and I love chatting with you guys and I love going deeper into my meals with you guys, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks.